Alright, we are back live here. So we never accepted that job and then it wasn't available, but then I found another one to the same airport. So we're going to get this thing going off the runway instead of doing the taxi run up. But let's see. Let's double check and make sure we got everything going here. So on the airport, we are going to KHIO in Oregon. It's 123 nautical miles with the approach and takeoff patterns. So we're going to get this thing going and we'll hit fly.
Hello, pilot. Let's see what's on the books for you today.
Yeah, we should be good now.
Good day, pilot. We have a lot of excited passengers ready to board today.
There you
Let me
go.
know when you are ready for them.
They're going to load the passengers. We're going to take off. Before we took off, we left the passengers behind. So
Transporter, boarding has started.
that is funny. Alright, we are in KYKM heading to KHIO on a hopefully runway number 13 right. We'll see what ATC gives us. We got clear for takeoff. We're going to adjust the weather. We're going to keep live weather. We're going to actually just adjust the time here.
Looks like everyone is on board, pilot. Let's get out of here.
Alright, we'll start off at the sunrise.
Contact the tower for clearance.
We can turn our pitot heat on. We got clearance. Let's see what runway we're sitting on. 27. So we're going to adjust our altitude up a little bit to get that ready. This is going to be a very interesting flight. So we are going to start with about 5,000. We're sitting at 1,000 feet above sea level, and we're gonna have to go up pretty high, so that doesn't even scratch the surface, but it will suffice for now. So we're going to adjust our heading here to the southwest, and we got that going. All right, so give you the quick update is that we got the new plane here. It's still a Cessna 208B, but it's a global, what is it called? Global Freightways airplane. So a little different color, green, white belly with a red tail. So not too shabby, pretty happy with the colors there. We got somebody coming up here, so we're gonna go ahead and take off here. So the first thing we got to do is get rid of our flap deployment. We'll throw our throttle up, release our parking brake, and adjust our view. So we'll get this thing up in the air. Once we get stabilized, I'll finish giving the updates that we got going on here. There's a few. Alright,
Good flight.
so we got liftoff. We're gonna manually do our roll.
Yakima Tower says that Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra continue for west departure.
And we're gonna set up here. get situated. All right, currently sitting at 3,200 feet.
X-ray Golf Sierra, leaving my airspace frequency change approved. Yakima Tower, Cessna Alpha Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra, frequency change. Seattle Center, Cessna Alpha Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra is type Cessna Caravan, 3 miles southwest of Yakima, 3,700 feet. Request flight following.
Cessna Alpha Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra, Seattle Center. Squawk 2517.
Squawk 2517, Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra radar contact 4 miles southwest of Yakima, 1,500 feet. Altimeter 29.96.
Roger, Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra.
All right, so we got everything situated with ATC, so we will get on our flight plan here. So the interesting part to the flight is that off in the distance there, I think that might be Mount Adams. And we are going to be crossing over that at about 12,000 feet above ground level. So we're going to have to get our elevation up pretty high and fly through the clouds. So we're going to get this thing going here. And we're going to keep going up. This is probably the highest live episode that we've done. So we want to probably go to about 14,000 feet. I'll knock one off and round that off. All right, so there we have it. Let's find out what kind of updates we got. All right, quick financial update. We're currently sitting at 2.5, almost 2.6 million, and our total equity is 3.7, close to 3.8 million, and that includes our cash as well as our Cessna 172 that we own, that Casper, our AI pilot, or one of our AI pilots, is flying. And we also purchased a $500,000 hangar in preparation for the home base. You know, we do still have to learn how to do that. And so we'll see. We got a lot going on with work, so it's going a little slower pace, but we'll get there eventually. And yeah, so the 2.5, 2.6 that we got in cash, the home base will cost about $1 million $1.7 million to build. So it'll almost wipe out the cash eventually. So that's why we're not kind of in too much of a rush to get it done, is because we will have no money left over. And once you run out of money, if something happens, your game is over. So we want to keep this thing going as long as we can here. So yeah, still currently the 4 staff. We got Hurricane, Berlin, Snoop, and Casper. Casper flying our own plane, and the other 3 are flying rentals. So we're flying up here in the clouds as we approach 10,000 feet. So we got some live weather going on. We'll see how high these clouds are. We might adjust our altitude so that we can get up and above them. And hopefully we get a good look at Mount Adams, if that's the mountain that we're thinking of. And yeah, so nothing else. We want to eventually get into a CJ4, which is a business jet, and we'll be able to do some different missions with that. The TBM 930, we will probably rent one of those just to play around with it. That's a Class C airplane. The CJ4 is a Class E. The one that we're currently sitting in is a Class C as well, just like the TBM 930. All right, and yeah, looking at this, we're hitting 12,000. We're almost going to be leveling out soon. But we are flying from Yakima, Washington to Portland, Oregon in this flight. So the total distance here is 123 nautical miles. We got 108 to go, 66 to the top of our descent, which once we get over that mountain, we'll be able to start that a little bit early and get a little closer to the ground, I think. All right, approaching 14,000 feet. We are going to adjust our altimeter, and we're going to reduce our throttle once the nose starts coming down. There we go. We'll bring that down to about 85 and see where our speed lands. Don't want to overstress the engine. There is no buffer zone here, as you guys have seen in other flights that we've done. Alright, looking forward to getting up to Mount Adams there. We're currently cruising at 14,000 feet. Alright, once we pass those clouds, we'll be able to get a better look at that mountain. And there's a good look at the new 208B global freightways that we got. We'll probably go a little bit higher just to get away from these clouds. But let's go ahead and figure out what mountain that is. Alright, so it is Mount Adams. So we're going to be flying right over that. We may even fly around it just for kicks. Get a better view of it. Alright, so we are definitely set to get a good view of Mount Adams here. So we got live weather, so a little scattered clouds. Speed check, we're good. We can actually increase the throttle just a little bit. A little bit more. Trim is set at 3%. Alright, I'm going to take a look at the flight plan real quick. Alright, so let's see how long we got here. So 57 nautical miles to the top of our descent, which is plenty of room here. The airport over in Portland, Oregon that we're going to be landing at is 203 feet above sea level. So we got a long way to descend here on this flight. And maybe, just maybe, we can find the Bush Talk radio on Mount Evans, or Mount Adams.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra, contact Seattle Center on 126.6. Good day.
Alright, we'll acknowledge handoff.
Decimal 6 Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra. Goodbye.
Alright, let's see if we can find Mount Adams before we get there.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra 14,000 feet.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra, Seattle Center altimeter 29er decimal 9er radar contact continue.
Alright, so we got that. Alright, so that is northeast of Portland. So we'll find Portland on the map. And then we'll try to find the, it's Mount St. Helen. I don't think I'm close. No, semi-close. There's Mount Adams. Alright, so we'll play the Bush Talk radio on Mount Adams. So we have that here. So there's a picture of it. And we'll get this thing playing.
Mount Adams, known by some Native American tribes as a part of Yakima, is a potentially active stratovolcano in the Cascade Range. Although Adams has not erupted in more than 1,000 years, it is not considered extinct. It is the second highest mountain in Washington, after Mount Rainier. Adams, named for President John Adams, is a member of the Cascade Volcanic Arc and is one of the Arcade's largest volcanoes, located in a remote wilderness approximately 34 miles east of Mount St. Helens. The Mount Adams wilderness consists of the upper and western part of the volcano's cone. The eastern side of the mountain is designated as part of the territory of the Yakima Nation. Adams' asymmetrical and broad body rises 1.5 miles above the Cascade crest. Its nearly flat summit was formed as a result of cone-building eruptions from separated vents. The Pacific Crest Trail traverses the western flank of the mountain.
And off to the right here is a two-tiered horsetail waterfall.
Swampy Creek Falls is a scenic, two-tiered horsetail waterfall along an unnamed tributary of the White Salmon River, originating from swampy meadows on Mount Adams' west slope with a total height of 52 feet. Its main drop is about 38 feet. It cascades down over an exposure of andesite, then veiling out over slope ledges below among a secluded forest. The falls are located not more than 800 feet from Forest Route 23 and is noted for having a secluded nature, seeming as if nothing is around for miles. It can be accessed while heading to the Midway High Lakes area and declared lake from Trout Lake or the Lewis River. From the road, viewers have to follow the Pacific Crest Trail for a few hundred feet, then crossing an unnamed stream on a footbridge. From here, hikers must follow the creek downstream to the top of the falls, then descending down to its base. The falls is managed by the Gifford Pinchot National Forest of Washington State.
Alright, that's our little talk on Bush Talk. And yeah, so once again, we have our 4 pilots going. We're going to actually go ahead and check up on them. So Hurricane has landed, Berlin has landed, Snoop has landed, Casper's still in the air. His projected ETA is 20 minutes from now. So our cash actually sits at 2.6 million now. There, a lot of people online. A little cloudy weather here, but we're gonna get a good look at Mount Adams for sure. So 14,000 feet in elevation. We should be able to clear that mountain no problem. Cruise speed of 137. And we got 41 nautical miles to our top. So Mount Adams there, looking pretty nice. So not an active volcano, but not off of the inactive list. So once we pass over this, we'll be able to drop our elevation down very substantially. Pending the cloud cover that we got going on. But it looks like it might clear up a little bit. Very impressive volcano there. Get a look down the western slope. Alright, we'll check out the cloud cover ahead of us here. So we are ready to start a early descent here. So we still got 34 nautical miles technically on the top of our flight plan here, but we definitely cleared our ground here starting at 1,000 feet in elevation, and we climbed up to 14,000 to get over Mount Adams, and then now we're going to descend or start our descent into Portland, Oregon, and that runway sits at 200 nautical miles or 200 feet above sea level. So we'll see how the weather goes here. We're going to adjust our altitude here to, we will say, let's go down to like 8,000. Let's say it's not too low, not too high, but we don't need to be this far up for sure. Actually, let's do something different. Let's go ahead and go all the way up in elevation and see if we can get a good look at above cloud level. So let's go to, I don't even know what the, let's see if I have this documented somewhere. Planes. The 203B, the max altitude is 25,000 feet. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll hit that and adjust our throttle to 100%. And we'll move our vertical speed adjustment down a little bit. To get the climb initiated. And those cloud levels are high. Normally we would be out of them by now. We got a stormy day. I think we might even have to go a little higher. Let's try. We don't want to go too high where we won't be able to descend in time. But I see us coming out. So let's do that. So we're at 15,000 feet, ascending up to 18,900 to try to get a good view here from above the clouds. And yeah, Mount Adams is completely covered. All right, 26 miles to the top of the descent. We're getting there. All right, 16,005. Coming up to the Swift Reservoir that we won't be able to see because of all the clouds. And we are halfway to our destination here. So the total flight plan was 123 nautical miles. We currently have 64 to go until our destination. Let's go ahead and check NeoFly. We're going to go to our passengers here. We do have a flight attendant available. Her name is Camille. And we're flying these 3 passengers here. They're pretty happy at 77%. I'm going to go ahead and start a drink distribution form to get that increased even more so that we can increase our reputation, because the more they're happy, the happier our reputation score gets. So we currently sit at 78.562. We've been slowly building that up since we learned about it. All right, we are at 17.7. We are pretty high, definitely the highest we've been in a live situation here for our Neo flight career. Alright, 18.3. We got it set at 18.9, which is the highest we will go, because we're gonna have to get our approach started here pretty early, since we're this high up, and our destination runway in Portland, Oregon is only 200 feet. So we're gonna have 18,700 feet to descend. So we do utilize little nav map for our flight plan. So going out of Washington's KYKM, we're going to head over to Portland, Oregon, KHIO. 123 nautical mile trip with a scenic view of Mount Adams just before. That's why we're this high. Alright, we're approaching our set altitude, so we're going to reduce our throttle as we level off. ATC, still doing good. We got that guy taken off. Alright. Yeah, it was right on point. I knew ATC was being quiet.
124.2 Cessna X-Ray Golf Sierra. Goodbye. Seattle Center Cessna Alpha Sierra X-Ray Golf Sierra flight level 190.
Cessna Alpha Sierra, X-ray Golf Sierra, Seattle Center radar contact continued.
I think we should be good to go with that. Alright, so now pretty much we're going to get one more look up here from the exterior. We are on live weather, just adjust the time of day so that it's not just completely pitch black at the moment. Doesn't make for a good YouTube experience unless there's some city lights going on. So kind of a little peek through there. So we definitely got different layers of clouds here at different altitudes. And we're gonna fly through this one because we're pretty much maxed out for our destination approach. There you go, we got a good look at the ground there. Alright, we got a couple of minutes to go before the top of our descent where we're going to have to start bringing this thing down semi-rapidly. We might hit a little turbulence here as we go through the clouds. So our 3 passengers that we're carrying are sitting at 92% now that they got some drinks. And that should increase a little more because Camille is still serving them. So we're going to head through this cloud and we're going to start our descent here. So we're going to go down to, let's start with 10,000. I think that's a pretty good starting point here since we are this high up. All right. We're going to be wearing this knob down for sure. All right. That bell was Camille finishing her drink distribution. We should probably give a safety talk. All right, that's good enough. 10.5. And we got a decent look. Before we go, we'll take one last look here. You got Mount St. Helens Aerial Ranch Airport. So, yeah, big clouds. Cloud storm over there. We'll see how our approach is. But it's been nice being up here, but we do have to start our descent here. So we're gonna hit that on. We're gonna adjust our flaps.
Cessna 0 Juliet Alpha, contact Mullen approach on 118.1. Good day.
And we're gonna pull our throttle back a little bit.
118.1 Cessna 0 Juliet Alpha. Goodbye.
Alright, rate of descent is pretty good. It's crossing into the 17,000 range. We're 4.8 nautical miles away from the top of our descent, which was supposed to be 13,000. So we're still definitely high. Gonna have to do a little more of a rapid descent here, but we'll keep all the passengers happy. Don't want to scare them. We're on a pretty good descent rate there to eventually match up to our flight plan. $16,000 feet. We can actually reduce that even more. We're going to reduce our target down to 6,900. All right, speed check good at 122. crossing over 15,007. Our torque and RPMs are good. Oil temp and pressure is good. Let's find out what river that is. Oh, it's not a river, it's actually a lake. So that's Woodland Lake, or Woodland Park Lake. Oh no, Woodland Park is just off of that lake, which that is Lake Merwin. Merwin. Alright, we officially crossed over the top of our descent, so we are on our final leg here on this trip as we head over to Portland, Oregon. We're hoping to be landing at runway 13R in KHIO. That is what's the name of that airport? That's the Portland Hillsborough Airport. We're going to do a little preparation here for our landing here. So the runway sits at 6,591 feet, so pretty decent in length for the 208B here. Should be able to land no problem pending weather.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra, contact Portland approach on 118.1. Good day.
118.1 Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra. Goodbye.
Do our little ATC here tuned to Portland approach.
Portland approach Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra 12,100 feet.
Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Golf Sierra, Portland approach altimeter 30.0, all radar contact continue.
Alright, as we fly through the clouds here, we're descending down to 11,500 feet with a set target altitude of 6,800. Rate of descent is good. Speed check is good. Everything's looking pretty smooth here.
Portland approach Alaska Tree 11 Heavy is passing 10,800 feet, climbing flight level 210. Alaska Tree 11 Heavy, Portland approach altimeter 30.0, all radar contact continue.
A flight attendant in a caravan? Yeah, we're just trying to build up our reputation here in NeoFly. So the interior of the caravan seats what, 2, 4, 6, 8 passengers with a co-pilot and pilot, so 10 people total. Yeah, flight attendant here. Yeah, definitely not 100% necessary, but we're trying to keep our passengers happy here in our NeoFly career. Just gonna do a little housekeeping here. Everything still looks good. 122 on the speed check. And we are pretty much approaching. Hopefully we have a little better view here for our land, but we are going to get ready to adjust our throttle here as we hit our target, and we're going to level off. Maybe we'll actually go and check. We can actually reduce that a little bit before it turns into altitude hold mode. We're going to drop this down to 3,900 feet. We're going to do an altimeter reset here to adjust for the air pressure, 30.05. Check ATC, we're still doing good. Maybe we'll get out of these clouds eventually. Alright, we are getting out of the clouds, so that's good. Hopefully we got a good look at the runway.
Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra traffic is 10 o'clock 4 miles at 5,600 feet near Mustang 20N. Report them in sight.
Yep, there he is right there.
Alaska Tree 11 heavy traffic is 2 o'clock 4 miles at 5,100 feet Cessna Caravan. Report them in sight. Cessna X-ray Golf Sierra, contact Plummet approach on 124.35. Good day.
Going to 124.35 Cessna X-ray Gulf Sierra. Portland approach Cessna Alpha Sierra X-ray Gulf Sierra 4,800 feet.
30.05.
X-ray Golf Sierra Portland approach altimeter 30.06 radar contact.
Alright, so yeah, the runway sits at 6,591 feet in length. We'll pull that over real quick since everything looks good. This is the airport in Portland, Oregon that we're landing in, KHIO. We're going to be coming in here, hopefully in runway 13R. And plenty of room here. Head over to taxiway E and cross over runway number 20/02. And we'll head over to our, depending on how, we could probably head over to the general parking over here, and we'll park it over there. So that is our plan here for our flight plan that we logged in nav maps. So I hope you enjoyed the ride on this live one. We're going to continue building our NeoFly career, or not building it, but progressing through. And yeah, I still have to edit our homemade bush trip that we made in Tokyo. So we just flew leg number 9 out of 10. So we only have one more to go after this one. And I'll get that posted this morning. Kit Fox is descending down past 200 feet. Now they're going up. Alright, so everything is looking pretty smooth and ready for our landing here. So we have 19 nautical miles to go. Once we bank left, we're going to have 5 nautical miles for our approach. And we are on live weather, so we kind of lucked out. We flew through a few storms on the way over here. And we at least got partial visibility. Take a quick look at the airport, or not the airport, but the exterior of the plane. And surrounding area. Let's see if we can find out the name of that river that we're crossing over. Alright, so we actually just... So that's the Columbia River, and that is actually the Washington-Oregon state line. So we are officially in Oregon, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, little messy clouds behind us. That is the border for Washington State, and now we're in Oregon as we make our approach to Portland. So yeah, we're gonna have some good visibility, I believe. That is a good thing here. So the airport sits somewhere up this way. It's not Sunset Airstrip. It's not that one. It's not that. And it's not that. So we don't have the runway in sight just yet, but we will. I think that's too far away. And that's too far away to see what that is too, so. Oh, what's this over here? Nope. Yeah, there's a lot of little points here to look at. I've never done that before. Alright, so coming up to the approach, it's at 1,200 feet. We're going to knock our elevation down a little bit more here. We'll reduce our throttle and possibly even increase our vertical speed. So 12 nautical miles to go. We're going into the Portland Hillsborough airport. Almost wondering if that's it over here. Nope, that's gotta be somewhere around here. It's definitely not that. Oh, there's Sunset. I see that on the map. And I see that one too. So our airport actually sits just beyond that. Sort of in line with those two. We're just not close enough to see it. Alright, we are hitting our target altitude there, so we're going to increase our throttle a little bit. Alright, everything is looking fantastic for our approach here. So runway sits at 203 feet above elevation. Adjust our altitude down to 1100, I believe. Reduce our throttle. We got a golf course down there to our left. Looks like it's more than 18 holes. And how far, gonna answer that question. I was gonna say how far we are to making our turn. Alright, that's Skyport. Our airport sits on the other end of that. Oh, there we go. We got runway in sight. It's going to be runway 13, right? We'll do a speed check here at 100. We're doing pretty good. We're at 50%. We're going to turn autopilot off here. Take full control as we land. Speed at 100. No, there is no wind to speak of, so we are good to go there. Should be a textbook landing. Glad it's clear skies from the weather that we had earlier. It's a little reflection on the water there with the sun. We're going to start reducing our throttle a little more, slowly but surely. Bring our speed down a little bit. Currently sit at 95, but we're going to pitch up as we cross over the road there. Nice. Semi-smooth landing.
We'll send maintenance to check the gear after you park.
Oh, I didn't think it was that hard. So we're gonna
Contact around for your parking assignment and then shut down your engine.
go ahead and taxi off of here, clear the runway. We made it over there. Increase our throttle a little bit to get some taxi speed going. Alright, we'll zoom in on the airport, figure out where we're going to park here. Alright, we'll take the next exit here and get on to taxiway E. I'm not going to bother contacting ground. We'll just find our own way. Do we have any open spots over here? Alright, we'll take a good look. Alright, this is taxiway E. There is a fuel station down here by the tower. Got the parking area over there. It's a nice airport. There's the fuel station. Maybe we'll park over here. After this long trip, we're gonna probably need fuel anyway, so. Alright, there you go. Parking brake is set. We're gonna cut our engine off, turn off our avionics. So appreciate you guys tuning in. Thanks for the update. We'll get the Tokyo bush trip edited and posted for a little earlier this morning. So thank you once again. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned for our NeoFly career tracking and our homemade bush trips.
Transporter from dispatch. Disembarkation